Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyaja Nishatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktadinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Jaya Gauran Nitai, Gauran Nitai, Gauran Nitai, Jaya Gauran Nitai, Jaya Gauran Nitai, Gauran Nitai, Jaya Gauran Nitai, Jaya Gauran Nitai, Jaya Nitai Satchishundara, Nitai Satchishundara, Nitai Satchishundara, Jaya Nitai Satchishundara, Nitai Satchishundara, Nitai Satchishundara, Nitai Satchishundara, Jaya Nitai Satchishundara, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai, Jaya Prabhupada, Jai, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev, Jai Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jaya Gurudev, Jai Vancha Kalpa Tarupiyascha Kripa Sindhu Pyaevacha Patidhanam Pavanepyo Vaishnave Yo Namo Namaha Nandipati Vaishnava Vrindaki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prema Se Koshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Ganga Maya Muna Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Samaveda Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Gaura Premanandi all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Welcome, 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 everyone. What shall we speak about tonight? Anyone has done some research?
8.3, Garanga.
8.3.
Unless anybody else has got, if anybody else has got one, then...
Hello, it's 7:18. Is that right?
7,
18.
19?
No, 18.
7:18. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Bhagavad Gītā. Chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute. Text 18. Prakash, you want to read the Sanskrit? Are you there, Prakash?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
But slowly, slowly, line by line. Don't mix up the lines. Make a little break after each line.
Sorry. उदारः सर्व एवेतः ज्ञानी टीवी आत्मेव मे मतः स्थिति सह युक्त आत्मः मामः एव युतं गतिम्.
Can you sing it? Uddara sarva evaite jnani tvat maiva me matam ashtita sa yuktat tatma mam evanuttamam gatim. Like that. That's with a bit of a melody. That's usually do it in the temples like that, but it's okay. Okay. Amit, translation.
All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. But one who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal.
Purport.
It is not that devotees who are less complete in knowledge are not dear to the Lord. The Lord says that all are magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
Because anyone who comes to the Lord for any purpose is called mahatma, or great soul. The devotees who want some benefit out of devotional service are accepted by the Lord because there is an exchange of affection. Out of affection, they ask the Lord for some material benefit, and when they get it, they become so satisfied that they also advancing devotional service. But the devotee is fully knowledge. But the devotee in full knowledge is considered to be very dear to the Lord, because his only purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion. Such a devotee cannot live a second without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotee and cannot be separated from him. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord says, Satova Hiradyam Mayam
Sathavo.
Satavo Hiradyam Mayam Sadhunam Hiradyam. I don't know how to pronounce that, but TV. Twaham. Anyakena Janati Na Ham Tebyo Manang Api. The devotees are always in my heart, and I am always in the hearts of the devotees. The devotee does not know anything beyond me, and I also cannot forget the devotee. There is a very intimate relationship between me and the pure devotee. Pure devotees in full knowledge are never out of the spiritual touch, and therefore they are very much dear to me.
Oh, what a very good purport. This translation again. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but one who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. Let's just look. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. What is Krishna saying before that? All these devotees. Text before that. There is a string of texts. The text before that, what Krishna is saying of these. So one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. For I am very dear to him and he is very dear to me. We had some of these verses. What is a verse before that? Anyone knows? Or what is Krishna talking about? In context? Anyone? What's the context?
Sorry, but you mean the verse before that one?
Yeah, what's the context? What is Krishna? What's the subject matter?
The subject matter, so Krishna saying, whoever surrenders to me, it's a relationship forever.
Yes, no, I mean, what's the subject matter in the wider context? Let's go up the verse before that. That's the subject matter. Oh, best amongst the Bharatas. That is text 16. Right? These verses belong together, huh? 16, 17, 18, like that. O best amongst the Bharatas, 4 kind of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. Who can say which are the 4 kinds of pious men who render devotional service unto Krishna? Who are they? 4 types. Anyone?
4 types of pious men.
Yes, who surrender to Krishna. Because impious people, they don't surrender to Krishna. Pious people. But they're categorized in 4 types.
The first one, I think, is somebody who is totally devoted.
No, it's quite definite answers. You, Andra, Dam, you know? Prakash? What are the 4? That's very important. What are the 4 categories of pious people who surrender to Krishna? That comes again and again and again. These are very important verses. Okay, so we have the one who is in distress. Right? If someone is in distress, something happened, some illness for himself or in the family, someone died.
I think I remember this now. I think I remember.
Yes.
So I see what you're saying now. So I think, yeah, the first one is somebody who's in distress.
Yes.
Another is somebody who desires wealth.
Yes.
And I think the other one is somebody who is searching for the knowledge.
That is, he's searching for knowledge of the absolute truth.
Yeah, of the absolute. And
number 4?
I think, let me think, it's, oh yes, I think it's inquisitive.
Exactly, you got it. That we need to know. The 4 types of pious men: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. And then from there it follows on. We had this verse. It follows on, and it makes sense that Krishna is saying, of these 4 types, the one who is in full knowledge, and is always engaged in pure devotional service, is the best. For I am very dear to him, and he is dear to me. So there are some differences. One is the best. Oh, French. It's all over the place today. Pop-ups are all over the place. Be very careful where you click with your mouse. Oh, okay. The one who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. Krishna says that is in text 17. For I am very dear to him, and he is dear to me. So here Krishna speaks about someone who is in full knowledge, not who has some knowledge, but someone who is in full knowledge of Krishna, and not only in full knowledge, and we're not only talking theoretical knowledge, has practically realized that knowledge. Is like we saying, I say, oh, I know Amit. Someone told me about Amit. So I heard about him. That is theoretical knowledge. But once I meet Amit, then that is a different kind of knowledge. Oh yes, now I really know Amit. Not only I know him, but we have some exchanges, we're talking together, some exchanges of emotions, of feelings, of loving affection, and so on. So that is one in full knowledge. Theoretical knowledge will help. We know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Okay, that's theoretical knowledge. But if we really know, we experience Krishna, we know Krishna speaks through the heart to us. We may not have seen Krishna face to face yet, but we are so close to Krishna, we are always thinking of Krishna. We know Krishna is not different from his holy name. And when we chant Hare Krishna, we know Krishna is there. And when we do arti and deity worship, and we know Krishna is there. The murtis are there, the deities are there. So that is a bit more deeper knowledge. And if we do service to Krishna, then we do realize Krishna. It's not anymore Krishna is a theoretical concept. Krishna is a reality. There's quite some difference. Krishna being a theoretical concept or Krishna being a reality. So Krishna says, of these, one who is in full knowledge, theoretical and practical also. Such a person is always engaged in pure devotional service. And he is the best. He's just like he's a friend. He has a relationship with Krishna. And then more, Krishna says, I'm very dear to him, and he is dear to me. It goes two ways. Sometimes we think, and people might be forgiven, they think our relationship with God is one way. What is that way? Please, my dear God, help me, give me this, give me this, give me that. There it ends. That's one way. And when they get it, many, not all, they forget God again. They forget Krishna. Okay. The desire has been fulfilled, the end of the road. I call these devotees fire brigade devotees because they're running to the fire brigade when the house is on fire. But when the house is not on fire, everything is plain sailing, everything is fine, then Krishna is quite far away. But if some calamity happens, oh, Krishna, 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 help. Oh, yes, that is a one in distress. So that's a context. So the one in full knowledge, that is, of course, we know that is a jnani. Next verse, Krishna says, all these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. All these, who are all these? All the four types, but Amit has so nicely explained that. So one in distress, so one in want of wealth or money, so one who's inquisitive, and the one who's searching for the absolute truth, which is a jnani, philosophical search. What and who is God, Krishna? Even the Western philosophers are also searching for the absolute, trying to make some sense of all this material energy. And welcome, Amrita Radhe Mataji. So, all these, Krishna calls all these four, even the one who is in distress, and even the one who wants wealth and approaches Krishna, and the one who is inquisitive and approaches Krishna. What to speak of the one who is trying to find the absolute truth? Krishna says all of them are magnanimous souls. They're not ordinary souls. Ordinary souls are those who are not pious. At least these are pious people. It's a magnanimous, and not only magnanimous, Krishna says, undoubtedly, there's no doubt. These are magnanimous, big souls, great souls. But amongst these four, who Krishna calls magnanimous, he says, but one who is situated in knowledge of me. So that is the jnani, the one who is searching for the absolute truth. So the one who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Wow, so he lifts that last category of devotees. They're all magnanimous, but the one who is searching for Krishna. Not, if someone is in distress, he's not searching for Krishna. He just wants his distress to be relieved. And once the distress is relieved, okay, normal life goes on. And likewise, the one who is inquisitive and the one who is in want of wealth. But the one who is searching for Krishna, for the absolute truth, and Krishna is the absolute truth. So Krishna says he's like my own self. That's some very strong statement. He's like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. And then we have the verse of today. No, it's not. What was the verse number today?
7:18.
7:19.
7:18.
18. Okay, so yes, just one we have discussed. So, all of these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. But one who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect. And Srila Prabhupada points out, it is not that devotees who are less complete in knowledge are not dear to the Lord. So they're all dear, all four categories. They're all devotees. If there wouldn't be devotees, they wouldn't approach Krishna when some calamity happens, when they're out of luck of money, when they're inquisitive. No, they're not complete in knowledge. They're not dear to the Lord. They're also dear to the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada points out, the Lord says, Krishna says, that all are magnanimous because anyone who comes to Krishna for any purpose is called a mahatma or a great soul. So anyone for any purpose who comes to Krishna is mahatma, is a great soul. And then Srila Prabhupada says, the devotee who wants some benefit out of devotional service is accepted by the Lord because there is an exchange of affection. There is some affection, exchange. They're coming to the Lord. They want some benefit. They're crying, please help me. I'm in great distress. And out of affection, Krishna is relieving that distress. Srila Prabhupada points out of affection, they ask the Lord for some material benefit, and when they get them, they become satisfied that they are advanced in devotional service. So that is nice also. If someone becomes satisfied by approaching Krishna, and Krishna is satisfying their desire, then they make advancement in devotional service. Their faith gets strengthened. Right? If we praying to Krishna, please help me in my distress, and my distress is relieved, And naturally, our faith is crying, oh, Krishna is real. That is beautiful. I have given that story many times. Real story when I was called to a family somewhere, Manchester, I believe it was, many years ago. The mother, Indian family, the mother passed away. And those from an Indian background, they know what mother means. I mean, you can relate to that than anybody else. I mean, so mother is very special. Mother. She passed away. You can only imagine how distressed the family was. 5 brothers and sisters. Very distressed. They called me, please, Gauranga, come. So I came with harmonium, with 1 or 2 devotees with me, Dangam, and they were all crying, wailing, completely disturbed in mind. Completely. So we started kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Within 15-20 minutes, all tears were gone. They joined into the kirtan, they were smiling. What a transformation. 15-20 minutes of chanting Hare Krishna. The distress had completely disappeared. We hadn't even spoken yet a word on Bhagavad Gītā or anything. We just kirtan. So naturally, when someone like that sees by Krishna's magic, my distress is suddenly gone. It's gone. Then they having some more faith in Krishna. Oh, this Krishna consciousness actually works. And it worked. It worked wonder. It worked Krishna's magic. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, someone becomes satisfied. And then they advance in devotional service. Likewise, that's the one in distress. If someone is really poverty-stricken, no money, and he prays, and then suddenly some money comes from nowhere. Various arrangements. Krishna can make all kinds of arrangements. Suddenly, the money comes from unexpectedly, from some relative, or for some pension schemes I didn't even know about. So many ways money can come. So when that desire is fulfilled, they will also gain faith. It's all about faith. So faith is advancing, and then they make advancement in devotional service. Now, these are the 3 types Krishna speaks about. The one in distress, the inquisitive, and the one wanting wealth or money. Now is the number 4, the jnani, the one who's searching for the absolute truth. Srila Prabhupada says, but the devotee in full knowledge. So all these 3 others are not in full knowledge, but still they're dear to the Lord. But that jnani type of devotee, he is in full knowledge. He is considered by Krishna to be very dear, because his only purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion. Right? That is not the purpose of the other 3. The one in distress, his purpose is not to serve the Lord. His purpose is to get relieved of distress. And the inquisitive one, his purpose is to fulfill his inquisitiveness. And the desire of wealth, his purpose is to get wealth. But the one who's searching for the absolute truth, his only purpose is to serve Krishna with love and devotion. such a devotee cannot live a second without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotee and cannot be separated from him. So actually we're not speaking about the beginning stages of a jnani, a mental speculator. He looks for the Lord, but he is not engaged in his loving devotional service. He's just speculating, mental speculation. He's just searching, not this, not that. And the next verse we'll find out what happened to that person. But once that happened to that person, that he surrenders to Krishna, then that is a person Krishna speaks about here. That he cannot live a second without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. That's a pure devotee. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotee and cannot be separated from him. Both ways. And then that Srimad Bhagavatam verse, that beautiful verse, is quoted. 9:468. The devotees are always in my heart, Krishna speaking, and I'm always in the heart of the devotees. The devotee does not know anything beyond me, and I also cannot forget the devotee. There is a very intimate exchange there. That's what Krishna says. There is a very intimate relationship between me and the pure devotees. Pure devotees in full knowledge are never out of spiritual touch, and therefore they are very much dear to me. So, spiritual touch means constantly, 24/7. And the next verse, which explains it a little bit more, how that person comes to that stage of rendering pure devotional service, coming from the stage of being a mental speculator, but trying to find the absolute truth. That he's trying to find. How does he get from trying to find the absolute truth and speculating by his material mind to come to full surrendering and being a pure devotee? So that next verse explains it. You may have heard about that. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavam mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlapa. That jnani, after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes, and all that is such a great soul is very rare. So it comes a long way. So progressive steps are someone is in distress, he's asking Krishna for distress because he's pious, or he's approaching Krishna. And he is dear to Krishna. And the one who is inquisitive is approaching Krishna to satisfy his inquisitiveness. He's also dear to Krishna. And the one who is in want of wealth, he approaches Krishna. He does not know who else to approach because he's pious. He's approaching Krishna. So he's also dear to Krishna. But the one who is searching for Krishna, who is searching, maybe through speculation, his progression is he has to undertake many births and deaths. And as we know, when we take another body, we carry on where we left off. So that person who looks in all kinds of theories and has read many, many books, very much a tendency to the impersonal understanding, So that person will take many births and deaths. And then he comes to the point, is progressing from empirically to find out who is the supreme, who is the absolute truth. And if he is very fortunate, he meets a pure devotee, then that's a shortcut. But he who is actually in knowledge, then he surrenders to Krishna. Then he surrenders. And then he knows Krishna is the cause of all causes. So Krishna is behind everything. He thought before maybe the Brahman is behind everything rests on Brahman, which is true, but he doesn't get the personal aspect. Then when he really understands that little cowherd boy, but it's not so easy to understand. We know that, we have spoken about that many times. Even Lord Brahma couldn't recognize when Krishna was there. He knew Krishna would appear at this time, but he saw a cowherd boy. And some saying that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Brahma, the firstborn in the universe, on the lotus flower of Lord Vishnu. Then he sees that little boy playing just like a little boy plays, stealing butter and doing all kinds of naughty things, climbing on a tree with stealing the garments of the gopis who took their clothes off and bathed in the river, and then coming out and finding their clothes is not anymore there. The garments are gone, and then Krishna says, I have your garments. You come one by one, and I will give you your garments back. But then they were just with their hands hiding their nakedness as much as possible. And Krishna says, no, not like this. You come and fold your hands in front of you. So, and beg for your clothes. And why are you doing this, Krishna? Why did Krishna do that? Because they were praying. They were praying to Krishna. They were making sacrifice and offering to goddess Katyayani. Of course, one might think. I thought offering to demigods shouldn't be done. Yeah, but they made an offering to Katyayani to achieve Krishna. And not only to achieve Krishna, but achieve Krishna as their husband. So they wanted Krishna as their husband. So if we ask a demigod, the Ganesh, please, my dear Ganesh, remove the obstacles in the path so I can reach Krishna. Any obstacles of my false pride, of my arrogance, just help me to move these obstacles out of the way so I can serve Krishna. And we can pray to Ganesh like that. But if you pray to Ganesh, oh, give me money, give me wealth, that is not allowed. That is demigod worship. We should not do. So one who's worshipping the demigods will go to the demigods. One who's worshipping me will come to me. So Krishna knew that the gopis had prayed to goddess Katyayani. So to have Krishna as a husband. So and Krishna, in his kindness, he fulfills that desire. Only a husband can see a woman naked. Only nobody else can see. So, of course, nowadays everything is topsy-turvy. But that is a Shastra. That has been for centuries and millenniums. So, coming in front of Krishna, in the nakedness, Krishna fulfilled that desire. Okay, now I am your husband. And only I can see you in that condition. So, Lord Brahma couldn't understand. This little boy is naughty and stealing the clothes of the gopis. And she is playing in the forest. That is supposed to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Let's not forget, Lord Brahma is born from the navel of Vishnu. So Vishnu, yes, one can easily accept Vishnu is the Supreme. Yes, after all, he has 4 hands. He's very powerful. He has a chakra, has a conch. The Gada has a club, and the lotus. While the lotus and the conch of Lord Vishnu, he has 4 hands, he holding his items in his 4 hands. While the conch and the lotus are meant for the devotees, the chakra and the Gada, the club, are meant for the demons. So the demons get their part, be beaten over the head. So how can this little boy be the Supreme Personality? That's a question. The Lord Brahma could not understand. But once Krishna had expanded himself in all the cowherd boys after Lord Brahma had stolen the cows and the cowherd boys and hidden them in a cave and came back, and they were still there after a moment. Lord Brahma came back after a moment. What's a moment? The whole year. Lord Brahma's time is, moment is a year. 2 moments, many years, like that. Then he was bewildered. Then he could understand. That's not just like an ordinary little boy. Only Lord Balaram, even Lord Balaram was confused. We heard that before. Certainly I've spoken that before. But Balaram was also confused. What's going on here? He couldn't work it out. Only after when they all came back. So the question could be raised, why Krishna expanded himself in all the cows and cowherd boys? Because he was thinking, how can I go home? How can I go home? And all the gopis, and he comes home alone. Usually Lord Krishna comes back with all the cows and the cowherd boys, and they're singing and playing on their flutes. The cows are mooing, and everybody eagerly awaits them when they come out of the forest. Now, the cowherd boys and the cows have been stolen by Lord Brahma and put in a mystical slumber in a cave. So how can Krishna go back? What's he going to tell the mothers? Oh, I lost your sons. I lost your demons, and I lost all the cows, by the way, as well. No, he can't do that. So he thought, that's a dilemma. What shall I do? Oh, I just expand myself in all the cows and cowherd boys, and individually, all with the exact dress, with the exact mentality. Everybody has a different mentality, has different habits. So Lord Krishna expanded himself in all of them with their habits, with their mentality, with their dress, everything. So when they came back, it was just like normal, like every other day. But something was not normal. Normally, when Krishna and the cowherd boys and the cows came back from the forest, the mothers felt more attraction for Krishna than for their own sons. And the cows felt the same way. So then, when they came back, suddenly the mothers had more affection for their sons than for Krishna. That was different. Balaram has seen that the other way around. The mothers had more affection for Krishna than for their sons. After all, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the all-attractive one. And now they had more affection for their sons than for Krishna, the other way around. Because their sons were Krishna's expansion. So therefore they had more affection for their sons. And Balaram, then he observed that. He observed that, that there is something in play. And then he could understand, Krishna expanded himself in all the cowherd boys and the cows. That's it. So when Lord Brahma came back after a moment, and he just wanted to play a little trick on Krishna and the cowherd boys, in particular Krishna. If that is supposed to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, let me do something naughty and find out. When he came back, the cowherd boys played like before. They played with each other, the cows were there and everything. Then Lord Brahma, well, what's going on? Then he went to the cave where he put the cowherd boys. And in the cave, they were lying down in mystical slumber. And he quickly came back at the place where Lord Krishna, and there they were playing. Then at one point he thought, oh, while I going to the cave and come back, Krishna quickly exchanges, brings the cowherd boys here, and then brings them back in the cave to bewilder me. But that wasn't the case, because there were two sets, cowherd boys and cows. So Lord Brahma became bewildered, and then he thought, okay, with one hat he looked to the cave, and one hat he looked to the place where Krishna was playing with the cowherd boys. And then he realized that simultaneously, even though he took them to the cave, but they're simultaneously in the cave and they're simultaneously with Krishna. And then it dawned on himself, oh no, what have I done? What a blunder I have done. I have tested Krishna. I took his dearmost cowherd boys. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh no. When we have done a big blunder, then we feel really, really bad. Then Lord Brahma, he came in front of Krishna and he offered his obeisances and he asked for forgiveness, and he offered some very beautiful prayers. So, to know Krishna, full knowledge, and surrender to him, that's not such an ordinary thing, but that person who looks for the absolute truth after many, many births and death, he comes to understand who Krishna is and surrenders to him and knows Krishna is the cause of all causes, and all that is sarva karana karanam, Brahma Samhita says. And then that verse, of course, explains sa mahatma sudurlabha, such a great soul is very rare. That is very rare. That is fully surrendered. Srila Prabhupada explains this that verse. This is the next verse from today. The living entity, while executing devotional service or transcendental rituals, after many, many births, may actually become situated in transcendental pure knowledge. That's the Supreme Personality of God. That is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. At the beginning of spiritual realization, while one is trying to give up one's attachment to materialism, there is some leaning towards impersonalism. That's interesting also. So in the beginning stages of our devotional journey, there is some leaning towards impersonalism, while we're trying to give up material attachment. But when one is further advanced, he can understand there are activities in the spiritual life, and that these activities constitute devotional service. Right? With an impersonal understanding, there is no activities, because the impersonalists, they want to merge into the Brahman effulgence of self. No activities, just merging. But if one can advances further, he can understand there are actually activities in spiritual life. That is called devotional service. They're not material activities. They look like material activities, but because they are directed towards the satisfaction of Krishna, they're spiritual activities. As we have heard many times before, what is the definition of material and spiritual? Take the example of prasadam. It's bhoga, unoffered foodstuff at the beginning, and then we offer it, and then it becomes prasadam, and we accept it as prasadam. So bringing something in connection with Krishna, that makes it spiritual. So therefore, those activities which are meant to please Krishna, these are spiritual activities. And those activities which are meant to please ourselves, these are material activities. Same activities, cooking, let's say cooking and eating. If it's done for our own satisfaction, that's a material activity. If it's done for Krishna's satisfaction, we cook for Krishna and we offer it to Krishna and then we eat it. That's a spiritual activity. So if that person who is looking for the absolute truth, if he realizing this, he becomes attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrenders unto him. At such a time, one can understand that Lord Krishna's mercy is everything. That's what it means. Krishna is everything. It means Krishna's mercy is everything. That he is the cause of all causes. And that this material world is not independent of him. He realizes the material world to be a perverted reflection. Shayanti Bhai, Hare Krishna. So he realizes the material world is a perverted reflection. What is an example of a perverted reflection? We have given it many times. What's a typical example? Amit. Perverted reflection. What example is given? It's a Shastra. Amrita Radhe. What's the example?
I can't recollect, Prabhu.
The reflection of the tree in the water.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right?
In
That's
Bhagavad Gītā itself, yes.
yes, that's a perverted reflection. Because the tree suddenly has its roots upwards and the branches down because of reflection. And we cannot enjoy the fruits of that reflection, therefore it's perverted. The real tree stands on the shore. So that's what Srila Prabhupada talks about. Is a perverted reflection of spiritual variegatedness. And then he realizes that Jnani, let's call him Jnani, said in everything there is a relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. That is a very profound statement. In everything is relationship with Krishna. If we don't see that everything is related to Krishna, then we are in material consciousness. If we can see that at every moment, that everything is related to Krishna, and it is. Krishna gives us a little bit of a help. I'm the taste of water amongst the mountains, I'm the Himalaya, I'm this, I'm the shark, I'm all of that. So Krishna gives us a hint. But that's not only the taste of water, and everything is related to Krishna. We see a tree, While we walk, the tree is certainly related to Krishna, is a living entity, is part and parcels of the Lord. We see an ant. We're looking in the sky. We see the clouds. We see the sunshine. It's all related to Krishna. All his material energy, every little bit. But generally, we forget the relationship to Krishna if we trying to enjoy. Because we cannot understand the relationship to Krishna. We have given that as an example. The neighbor has a nice. Other day, I was overtaken by someone in a red sports car. I thought, what is it? And he so quick he was. I could read from behind, Lotus. Lotus sports cars, very, very expensive cars. So let's say the neighbor has a Lotus sports car. In his driveway, the keys are in. The keys are in. It's not locked. If we forget the relationship, that car is related to my neighbor, then we think, oh, I can enjoy that car. Let me drive it around. Start the engine and driving around. Because if we don't forget that relationship, the car has a relationship with my neighbor. In fact, it belongs to my neighbor. So we couldn't drive that car around and enjoy that car. Simple example. So with everything else, when we try to enjoy this material energy in its various innumerable forms, we are in forgetfulness of Krishna. We don't understand these things have a relationship to Krishna. So that's a very, very profound point. Therefore, those devotees who can see everything in relationship to Krishna, they cannot enjoy the material energy. Maya is far, far away. Maya means we are covered in that knowledge this object has relationship to Krishna. The man sees a woman on the street and he gets some lusty desires. Oh, I could, or a woman sees a man, same thing. Would that be nice to enjoy this woman? Then you're forgetting this woman is in a relationship with Krishna's daughter. It belongs to Krishna. She belongs to Krishna. How can we even think I want to enjoy? Can we even think? The thought wouldn't even come into the mind if we see the relationship with Krishna. Or anything else in this material world we want to enjoy, we see the relationship with Krishna. The enjoying spirit is dead. Gone. And as soon as we forget the relationship with Krishna, everything is related to Krishna. Of course, that we know. But as soon as we forget the relationship with Krishna, then the enjoying spirit, Maya, is immediately there. So this is very, very deep, important realization. Of course, the question could be raised. How can we always realize that everything is in relationship to Krishna? Well, it needs knowledge. It needs humility. It needs a process where we can constantly think of Krishna. Constantly, as he explained, that Mahatma, he constantly thinks of Krishna. And here Srila Prabhupada carries on. Thus, he thinks that everything in relation to Vasudeva or Sri Krishna, such a universal vision of Vasudeva, precipitates one's full surrender to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna as the highest goal. Such surrendered great souls are very rare. That is that's text 19. Well, at this point, let's ask if there are any questions. Or comments. Amit, Amritarate.
Prabhu, no questions, just Firstly, I really love the point about how variety of this world is related to the spiritual world, and how everything is actually, if we consider everything is belongs to Krishna, and if we give up the enjoying propensity, then in one sense this world is also spiritual world. Is
Yes,
that correct?
absolutely. Yes, yes. Because in
That
the
is
spiritual world, nobody thinks I want to enjoy. Everybody thinks in relationship to Krishna, and everybody takes all objects and anything in the spiritual world in order to please Krishna. So that means immediately, if we see everything in relationship to Krishna, the enjoying spirit is immediately gone. We don't need to separately try to get rid of that enjoying spirit, which is almost impossible. Daivi Esha Gunamai is Krishna's Daivi, divine energy. So how can we overcome the divine energy like that? No. We just all what it's needed, and we hear it from Srila Prabhupada again and again, is just remembering Krishna. And remembering Krishna means remembering everything is in relation to Krishna. Our husbands, our children, our wives, our neighbors, everything, what we speak of the objects, what we speak of material nature and animals and beasts and birds and insects and aquatics, and everything is in relation to Krishna. Even the different objects in the shops, they're also in relationship to Krishna, because they're Krishna's energy transformed by human beings who think because they have transformed Krishna's energy, now these things belong to him. Strange concept. I have transformed her. How I have transformed her? By my intelligence. But it's not my intelligence. Krishna has given me that intelligence. So also my intelligence is also Krishna's. Krishna has given me the intelligence that I transform an object into some day-to-day usage object. So that is not mine, because I transformed it with Krishna's intelligence and Krishna's energy and Krishna's. Yes, so it still belongs to Krishna. It's in relation to Krishna. Very simple. Very simple. I made bread. So therefore it's my bread. Well, really, you made bread. How did you make bread? With flour. Where's the flour coming from? Krishna. With water. Where's the water coming from? Krishna. And how did you know how to make bread? Oh, I'm intelligent. Oh, Krishna's intelligence. Krishna gave you that intelligence. And how is a crane? How does a crane grow? By rain. Yes, Krishna. Through Indra, through his devatas. So everything is in relation to Krishna. If we analyze everything, and we keep that consciousness awake, and we analyze, and wherever we go, we trying to see that relationship, we are in full knowledge then. That's full knowledge. And then Maya is far away. And it's Vaikuntha here. Far away. No enjoying spirit. So as we have said many times, that Srila Prabhupada says, not we. We're just repeating Srila Prabhupada. That what keeps us in this material world is that enjoying spirit. If we cannot get rid of that enjoying spirit, by the end of this lifetime, we have to come back, take another birth to fulfill our desire to enjoy in a certain way. And material nature will give us a particular body to enjoy in that particular way. So that is Krishna's mercy also. You want to enjoy? Okay, I will arrange that you can enjoy. But drawback is birth and death. That's a drawback. And so many pain in between. So the one who has enough of that, who is wise, who is a mahatma, that will not satisfy me. I have done millions of lifetimes. I have tried to satisfy what? Just my senses. 5 senses and the mind. Try to satisfy my senses. seeing something nice, hearing something nice, tasting, touching, smelling. That's all. With my mental concoction, thinking that will satisfy me. But it doesn't satisfy me. For a short time, I'm being a little bit relieved because the senses are pushing. They want satisfaction. They're screaming, satisfy me, and the mind as well. Sometimes it feels like very difficult to withstand that pushing of the senses. But someone who wants to become a Swami, a master of the senses, Goswami, he will tolerate these urges, at least tolerate. The pushing may still be there, but just have to tolerate. If the stomach is pushing, if the tongue is pushing, or taking something, even forbidden food, or that will taste so nice, or I need to enjoy that. So we have to tolerate it. These things come. Or Krishna is explaining in the Bhagavatam, the person who tolerates these pushings, who tolerates his karma and suffering what comes with it, but at the same time he's worshipping Krishna within the heart and mind, and he's just tolerating that. So he is a candidate for liberation. It has become his rightful claim. It's like we inherit something. Our parents have some great wealth. So we are, as a son, or the only son perhaps even, we are a candidate for this inheritance. In due course of time, the parents will pass away, and they will make arrangements that this inheritance will go to their son, or sons and daughters. It has become their rightful claim. Also, liberation becomes our rightful claim. If we can tolerate this pushing of the senses, it's not easy. And Krishna says in the second chapter also, Matra sparshas kaunteya shitoshna shukadukata agamapaino nidyas damstidikshas bharata. This happiness and distress in this material world, which is constantly coming and going. Nobody can have experience only happiness. Everybody tries. I want to be only in happiness. I don't want to be in distress. I want to avoid all distress and increase my happiness. Does it work? No. Nobody can always be in happiness. Nobody can always be in distress. It's going up and down, like we driving our bicycle up the hill, very hard work, and we know on the other side it goes down again, and it goes up again, it goes down again. So why bother? Why bother? So Krishna says, just try to tolerate without being disturbed. Usually we become disturbed. When distress are coming, we become so much disturbed. When happiness is coming, we're not disturbed. But distress, yeah, we are so much disturbed. And Krishna says, tolerate. Not even tolerate. Try to tolerate. Just try it. And eventually you will be successful. More and more. And eventually you will become a liberated soul. Anything else? Any other question?
One more thing, Prabhu, it is something that I heard in Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's class. He said that Artho, or when we pray for material things to Krishna, not only should we expect that he may, answer those prayers and fulfill our desires, but we should also be ready to hear no as a reply. Sometimes, for example, we may want a certain something, but then Krishna can reply as no also. So that is also one.
The second part, I didn't get that. What should we expect? We're expecting that our desire is fulfilled, yes? And what else?
Krishna can also reply to the prayer as a no, that no, you should not get this, it will only harm you more. So that is one point I wanted to add, that we should allow God to answer it as a no. Why I'm saying it? Because sometimes people pray to Krishna, like you were saying, and if the prayer is answered, their faith increases. So the answer can also be a no, and then they can realize that it was good that I didn't get that particular thing at that point in time of my life. Uh, so that is also one point that I'd heard, which I thought I can share here.
Thank you. Yes. And we have to also, there's another component. We have to also deserve, right? It's not just things are granted to us automatically. We have to deserve. What does that mean? Well, according to our karma. According to our karma, that plays also a role. Of Krishna can, of course, override that karma. He can. But we could pray, please, Krishna, I want this so much. But if you think it will just hinder me, it will take me away from my service to you, then please don't give it. We don't pray like that, do we? I want. But if it's bad for me, then please don't give it. It's all bad for us. That I want. That's all bad. Nobody prays like that. They want. And afterwards, that is bad for me. That you find out afterwards. You're not satisfied and...
Can
Yes.
Prabhu, one more question.
Okay.
Like, can we ask for a specific service? Like, or should we leave it on Krishna, that Radharani and Krishna, whatever service you want to engage me in, please engage me in that service? Or can we ask for a specific service which we think will, be good for us in the sense that we'll be happy doing that service? What do you think is
Okay.
the right mood as a devotee?
Yes. Well, if it's service we're asking for, that is spiritual. Spiritual. Of course we can ask. Krishna, can
Prabhu, one more
I
thing.
serve
Basically,
you?
what I'm asking is specific service. Like, for example,
Your microphone is off.
somebody wants to be a preacher, or somebody
Yes.
wants to, maybe grow Tulsi Maharani like Sushila Bain does at their home, and they want arrangements for those things. Can someone ask for specific service? Not
Absolutely.
just service, but specific service.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Why not? Because it's all serving Krishna. We should beg Krishna for service. Please, let me. Of course, even a higher attitude will be, Krishna, let me serve you. Whatever. If you want me to sweep the floor, I sweep the floor. If you want me to do puja, I do puja. But there is no harm. Krishna cannot serve you in this and this particular way. That goes along with the mood we spoke on Sunday. There is a particular mood. Krishna, can I serve you like the cowherd boys serving you? Can I serve you in this way? Or can I serve you like the gopis serving you? Yes, we can ask that. It's all spiritual. Because it's about serving Krishna. It's not about pleasing ourselves. And Krishna may engage us in that particular kind of service. If we have some, of course, it's not necessarily based on, I think I'm so good I'm so talented in singing for Krishna, in bhajans. So Krishna, can I be engaged as your bhajan singer? Nothing wrong about asking that. But it goes deeper. We have a certain inclination to serve Krishna in a certain way. We serve Krishna in friendship. Then we have the different rasas here. We serve Krishna and we feel an inclination of serving Krishna as a friend. Certainly, even asking or not asking, it will happen anyway. If that is in our heart, to want to serve Krishna, to want to have that relationship and that exchange as a friend or as a parent, then it will happen. If we pray or not pray, it will automatically happen in due course of time. But the answer again, no, there's nothing wrong about asking for particular service. But we shouldn't be disappointed if Krishna thinks otherwise. If that doesn't work out, to serve Krishna in this particular way, and there may be many reasons why it doesn't work out. Maybe we asking to serve Krishna in a particular way out of pride. And that would be better it doesn't work out. It just increases our pride. But a genuine desire to serve Krishna in a particular way, yes, you can pray, you can ask Krishna. Does that answer your question? Amrita, Radha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, it does. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Any other questions? Anyone? Dharma, any question?
Yes, I have a question. If you pray to the pure devotee of the Lord, and if the pure devotee, his word, if the pure devotee gives his word, then Krishna is duty bound to fulfill it, because he never breaks the word of his own pure devotee. I think the example was in the battle, when Krishna said he wouldn't lift the weapon. But Bhishma said, I've killed Arjuna by sunset, or make Krishna lift his weapon. And so Krishna broke his own word. He actually lifted his weapon, just to satisfy Bhishma, because I think Krishna made the statement that he would not lift any weapon. But because he's pure devotee, I think Bhishma was a pure devotee, he stated that he would, two things he would do, either kill Arjuna by sunset or make Krishna lift his weapon. So I don't think Krishna wanted Arjuna to be killed at sunset, so Krishna broke his own word to lift his weapon to satisfy Bhishma. I think that's what the story is, if I'm correct.
Yes, to satisfy Bhishma and also to protect Arjuna.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because this is dear devotee. So, out of that loving affection, Krishna breaks his own promise. That's why Krishna says the end of the Bhagavad Gītā. Pratichanihi me pranashyati. Kaunteya pratichanihi na me bhakta pranashyati. He says, Arjuna, declare it boldly. My devotee will never vanish. Never. Declare it. So why is asking Arjuna to declare it? Why doesn't he declare himself? Because he has someone might think, Krishna, can I really believe in him? Can I trust him? He has broken his vow not to fight on the battlefield, and so many others as well. So it wasn't true that he will not fight, because he was ready to fight. Of course, Arjuna stopped him. Don't break your word, my Lord. But Krishna is ready to break his word, so people may think, Kandya Pratichani na me bhakta pranashyati. Declare it boldly, my devotee will never perish. Oh yes, that's just another promise. So therefore he said, Arjuna, no, you promise. Promise to the whole world, my devotee will never perish. Because as you said, Dharma, Krishna never breaks a promise of his pure devotee. We have many, many examples. Krishna does not break his promise, his pure devotees. May it be Lord Brahma's benediction to Hiranyakashipu, and so many, many examples. So this will never be broken. He may break his own promise, but it's natural. Why Krishna breaks it? Out of love and affection. It's like one may be very advanced and see everybody on the same level. But when there is danger, instinctively he will save his own child first. Right? So Krishna also, all other considerations will be cast into the wind for his pure devotee. Okay. Beautiful verses. Beautiful verses. We'll try to remember this sequence of verses, starting with the 4 types of pious people. And then Krishna is analyzing what are the 4, and the one who's searching for the absolute truth, he is most dear to him. And if that searcher for the absolute truth, after many, many births and deaths, he surrenders to Krishna, and engages in pure devotional service, and he is the most dear. He's so dear to Krishna, there's no difference. He's in my heart, I'm in his heart. So this sequence of verses is very important. So we stop here for tonight. See you on Saturday.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes,
I just wanted to share something.
please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was doing some outreach last week in Spain, in Pamplona.
Oh, yeah, Barcelona. Haribol, how did
I
that
went to
go?
Barcelona, and then I went to Pamplona, where they do the bull run.
Yes.
So what they do is they have bulls which they make them run.
Yeah,
along
we will
the-
know. We know. Everybody knows.
Yeah, and then they end up
We
in
don't want to
a,
really hear it, but what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it was, we did an outreach, but it's, not many people know that there's about 60 bulls which are made to run, and then they're all slaughtered at the end of the night. So it's mixed feelings, it's a nice city. It's got a lot of culture and architecture, but it's very heartbreaking to know that this is the kind of thing that people enjoy, but hopefully in Spain it's getting less and less now. People are not liking bullfighting.
How were you accepted? How were you, what impact
Yeah,
did it make?
response from the people, the public, it wasn't too bad because we were 2 days away from the festival. We didn't actually do it on the day of the festival. We were like 2 days away from the festival. So people generally were kind of shocked to see us during the outreach. There were a few comments being shouted at us by some people walking by.
Shouting at you?
Yeah, but we couldn't do it on the day. We would get kicked, we would get beat up, because the mentality of the Spanish men, they can be very macho. There's a very chauvinistic culture
Yeah.
there, so we couldn't do it on the day. It's too dangerous. They would beat us up. And then it's too busy. There's so many people that attended, there's so many attended, but the outreach was covered by a lot by the press. So it was, by the Spanish press, it was covered a lot, so hopefully it's planting seeds in the mind, and the next generation of Spanish people, they will move away from it.
Yes.
Eventually they will move away from it, just like
Were there other groups who also protested?
Yes. Yeah. So we joined a group called Animal Naturales. They were the group that actually led it. So we supported them, so we were, through Peter, we support them through the social media. So we advertise on our group, so we're helping them promote it, but they were the main group, they're like a Spanish South American animal rights group. They're the ones that led it. And so we were with them. On the first night
Okay.
we traveled over, we landed in Barcelona. We traveled overnight to Pamplona. So we got there in the morning. We had to get ready. We walked around the streets and we were shown the streets. And then we did the outreach in the afternoon. And then it was always a long day. The journey there was, it was hard. It was a long day. But then I had a few days to recover in Barcelona.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Beautiful city. I've been
beautiful
there.
city.
Beautiful city.
It's almost like a perfect city. It's got everything. It's got
Yes.
culture.
Yes.
It's got, it's got the history. It's got the
Yes.
beach. It's got lovely, scenery, port. It's almost like a perfect city. Capital
Yes.
city.
Yes. Nice holiday. Not only
Yeah, it was
holiday.
nice to have a few days. And the main thing, probably, was really the sun was there. It was really basking in the sun.
Mm.
So I was able to top up my suntan,
Hare Krishna.
But it made a big difference with the sun,
Show off your suntan and come on Saturday.
Okay, I will try. But
Okay.
but I've
Okay,
got
thank
my
you.
date free. I think you said Saturday the 3rd of August.
Yes, that is a must.
Yeah, I've set that free now.
Even Amrita Radhe and Rituan and Tejas and Padmas, they're coming here.
Yeah. So I've cleared my date. I did have an event on that day, but I've cancelled it. So
Yes, good. Ivandra Dharma. If you can make it on that Saturday, 5 o'clock, not 7. Normally 7 o'clock, but 5 o'clock. If you can make it to come to Leicester physically, that would be great. 2 sannyasis. You have seen the poster probably. I'll post it again. That would be great. Get a nice group of devotees together with these wonderful sannyasis there. And devotees, traveling with them, 3 devotees, and 2 devotees from London. And then our devotees, a few, Amit is there, Amrita Radhe and Rituan, if you will be there, that would be really, really nice. And okay, here we really need to stop. We're running late. See you on Saturday.
okay, Prabhu, I will try to make it. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Is Vashna back?
Not yet.
She's still in America, huh? Okay,
Yes.
or wherever she's gone. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.